You are surrounded by people right now, maybe not this exact second, but you will be soon. A crowded train, a party, a family dinner where every chair is full, and somewhere in the middle of all that noise, you feel it. A cold, quiet ache that makes no sense. You are not alone, so why does it feel like you are? You have probably been told that loneliness is about being by yourself, that it is solved by company, add more people, and the feeling disappears. But the real answer is far stranger. Loneliness was never about how many bodies are near you. It is about something much older, buried deep in the wiring of your brain, something your ancestors carried for millions of years. Think about the last time it happened. You were laughing along with everyone else, nodding, saying the right words at the right moments, and inside a thin wall of glass seemed to separate you from the room. You could see them, you could hear them, but you could not reach them, and no one noticed. To them, you looked perfectly fine. That gap you felt is not a flaw, it is a signal, and to understand it, you have to go back, far back, to a time before words, before fire, before you were even recognizably human. Your ancestors lived in small groups, bands of maybe 30 to 50 people, moving across an enormous and dangerous world. In that world, being part of the group was not a comfort, it was survival itself. A human alone on the ancient savanna was a dead human. No claws, no fur, no fangs. Your species survived for one reason above all others. You stayed together. You shared food. You slept in a circle so that something could always be watching the dark. So your brain evolved a system to keep you inside that circle. A kind of internal alarm. When your bonds were strong, you felt calm. When they frayed, when you drifted toward the edge of the group, the alarm went off. That alarm is loneliness. It was never meant to punish you, it was meant to save your life. This is the work of John Cacioppo, a neuroscientist who spent his entire career studying loneliness. He called it a biological signal, no different from hunger or thirst. Hunger tells you the body needs food. Loneliness tells you that you need connection. Not company, connection. The two are not the same thing, and that single distinction explains everything about the room full of people. Because here is the trap. Your ancient alarm system does not count heads. On the savannah, the people around you knew you. They had known you your entire life. There were no strangers in the circle, so your brain made an assumption that still runs inside you today. It assumed that nearness equals belonging, that if people are close, you must be known. But the modern world broke that assumption. Now you can be surrounded by humans who do not know you at all. A train full of strangers, a scroll full of faces you will never meet. Your body registers the crowd. Your ancient alarm checks for true bonds, the kind that says someone here would notice if you disappeared. And when it cannot find them, it sounds quietly, in the middle of the noise. Have you ever noticed that the loneliest places are often the busiest ones? When you feel chronically disconnected, your nervous system shifts into a subtle state of threat. Cacioppo found that lonely people become more sensitive to rejection. Their brains scan faces faster, looking for the smallest sign that they do not belong. A human drifting toward the edge of the group had to watch for who might push them out. But in a modern crowd, that vigilance turns against you. You walk into the party already braced for distance, and bracing for it, you create it. This is the cruel loop at the center of loneliness. The feeling that is supposed to push you toward people quietly teaches you to expect the worst from them. You smile a little less, you give the safe answer instead of the true one, and the others, sensing the wall, stay on their side of it. A room full of people, each behind their own pane of glass, each convinced they are the only one. But why does the feeling cut so deep? Why does it ache in the body and not just the mind? For that, consider Naomi Eisenberger, a researcher at UCLA. She put people inside a brain scanner and had them play a simple game of catch with two other players. Then the other players stopped throwing them the ball, just a small digital exclusion. A game. And yet the brain reacted as though something real had been lost. The regions that lit up were the same ones that process physical pain. The same circuitry that fires when you break a bone fired when people were simply left out of a meaningless game. Let that settle. Your brain does not have a separate system for social pain. It borrows the one built for bodily injury. To the deepest part of you, being excluded and being wounded are nearly the same event. For a species whose survival depended on belonging, the threat of being cast out had to hurt as much as a physical blow. The pain you feel in that crowded room is the echo of those ancient stakes, and the air around you has changed enormously. For nearly all of human existence, your relationships were few but deep. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar discovered something fascinating about this. He found that the human brain seems to have a natural limit on the number of stable relationships it can truly hold. Around 150, that number, now called Dunbar's number, appears again and again across human history, in the size of ancient villages, in the number of people most of us can genuinely keep track of. Now look at where you live. You may pass more human faces in a single day than your ancestors saw in a lifetime. Your brain, built for a village of 150, is drowning in faces it can never know. It is not built to feel close to a crowd, it is built to feel close to a few, so the crowd does nothing for the ache. It may even make it worse. Does this mean you are broken? No, it means the opposite. The feeling is precise. It is pointing at something real. Loneliness in a crowd is not telling you to find more people. It is telling you to find your people. It is the difference between being seen and being surrounded. You can stand in the center of 1,000 and feel nothing, and you can sit with one person who truly knows you and feel the alarm go silent. Your ancient brain is not asking how many. It is asking who. Who here knows your name and means it? Who here would notice the empty chair? Cacioppo had one more insight that is easy to miss. He found that the most powerful thing a lonely person can do is not to seek more contact, but to risk a deeper one, to say the true thing instead of the safe thing. To let one person pass the glass, it feels dangerous because the ancient alarm is bracing for rejection. But the alarm is also the proof that you are still wired for the very thing you are missing. You feel lonely because some part of you still knows what real closeness is and still wants it. So the next time you stand in a full room and feel that cold wall rise up inside you, do not be afraid of it. It is the oldest part of you, the part that kept your species alive through every dark night, leaning close and whispering a single instruction. Not these. Find yours. You are surrounded by people right now, and the ache you feel in the middle of them was never a sign that something is wrong with you. It is the most human thing about you, a signal as old as the species itself, reminding you that you were never built to be near people. You were built to be known by them.